Hi there, Cancer. Welcome to Moonstone Soul. My name's Deborah. I'm going to do you a Celtic Cross for November. Will be a general reading. Now, I have pre-shuffled and meditated on the cards. They've been sitting there with a couple of stones that really do work well for Cancer. One is black obsidian. Bring out all those emotions that need dealing with. And, of course, moonstone. One of Cancer's very special stones. So I'm going to be using the Gilded Tarot by Tero Marchetti, one of my favourite illustrators. Beautiful cards. So we will crack on and see what comes up for you in the month of November. Just remember that this is a general reading, and if it doesn't resonate with you, take what does, leave the rest. But if you want additional messages, then you could check out your rising and your moon signs, particularly for Cancer. Moon signs can be very illuminating because Cancers, and I'm one of them, can be very affected by the moon, obviously, as it is our ruling heavenly body. So we've got a couple of cards to start out with. Very nice ones as well, two major arcana. So we'll just have a look at those. In your present situation, we have justice. Okay, so justice, fairness for all, balance, taking everybody's opinions into consideration, being firm but fair. Justice is nothing not fair. It is the card of Libra. So you may have a Libra in your life, or it may just be that you're waiting or you're in the middle of some sort of legal situation, or just that you want a bit more balance, more harmony. And it's not an emotional card. Obviously, you've got to take all the emotion out when you're dealing with justice. Oh, there you go. And it is crossed by another female in this card, the Empress, which is beautiful. It's the card of Venus. So it's a real earthy energy, often related to Taurus. So to have those two major arcanas at the centre means that there is something pretty significant that you are in the middle of right now. Now, it looks to me, if you are looking to get some sort of judgment, some legal decision, or just looking to have more balance and fairness, equity in your life generally, then the Empress is a really good sign that you're going to get that. You're going to get everything you need. She is a card of abundance, fertility, creativity. So whatever is coming your way, or if you're making it happen yourself, that is going to work out really well for you. And you're going to have a really abundant time, whether that's material goods or just with the general resources. And relationships as well. You can't really have Venus in there without talking about love. Not that I'm saying it's a love relationship, but there is a general feeling of love and well-being with the Empress. So that's a really nice start. Let's just see where you've come from, the energies you're leaving behind. Two of Wands. So it looks like you've had to make a choice of some kind. Wands, obviously, fire energy. They're about action. You have actually chosen a particular fork in the road. You've decided which way to go, and you're making that happen. I've got two cards there, so I'll take them both. And so wherever you made that choice in whatever area of your life, those results are now being seen with the Justice card and the Empress card. So it looks like a good decision, whatever you made. And we'll see what's coming up a bit further on in November. For Cancer, we've got the King of Cups. So that decision has been really good for you to get the King of Cups come up. Whether it involved a fellow water sign, Pisces and Scorpio, King of Cups usually is with regards to a Scorpio, but it doesn't have to be. Or it could just be that you have got control of your emotions. You had to make a choice. It turned out well for you, and you're moving forward feeling very fine indeed. No ups and downs, no wobbles. You're in the flow. And Cancer, which is great. Now, crowning you is the Queen of Pentacles. So perhaps this decision was with regards to a home. She's very similar to the Empress. Obviously, the Empress is all-encompassing, but the Queen of Pentacles is also concerned with home, finances, beauty, sensuality. They're very similar. The Empress obviously trumps her because she's in the major arcana, but very similar energies. So that seems to be what you're aiming for. You want to be the Queen of Pentacles. You want to be the queen of your queendom. Have your house in order. Have everything running smoothly. And it looks like there's nothing to see there that it's not going to happen. It looks like it's going to work out real well for you. It's going to be very emotionally satisfying with that King of Cups. And we'll now have a look at the root of the situation, the basis of this reading, and that's the Emperor. So we have the Empress and the Emperor, the ultimate couple. That is fabulous. Yet more people involved here. The only pick card so far is the Two of Wands. So you really want to be in control. You want to take control of your life, your situation, your finances, your career, your family. That sounds terrible, but you want, that's not what I meant. I mean, you want things to be running smoothly. The Emperor was all about authority. Maybe you're having to take on a bit more of a kingly attitude to make this happen. You might have to put your foot down a little bit. You might need to say, this is what I need, this is what I want, and this is how we're going to get it done. And good for you. The Cancers are often portrayed as being a bit wishy-washy. Nothing could be further from the truth. I'm a Cancer myself. We are not weak at all. We often just go with the flow. That is fine. But when we want something, if we've got it in our grip, we do not let those pincers go. We can be very resolute. So this is drawing on that. You know what you want. You know how to get it, and it's coming your way. So good for you. Good for me. Yay, us. Now, in the ego position, we had two cards pop out, both major arcana. The High Priestess. As you know, Cancerians are very intuitive, very good at looking within to find the answers. And that's what you're doing now. You are relying on your own inner wisdom. And coupled with that is the Strength card, which I don't really need to say much more than that, do I? So it's what's going on in your head is the embodiment of this card. Wise, confident, strong. So you are very well placed to make this happen. And the outside influences, see what we've got there, the Three of Pentacles. The Three is about teamwork. It's generally regarding material possessions, money, stocks and shares, property, that sort of thing. Coupled with the Queen of Pentacles, I would say that that's where your main concern is at the moment. The main concern is making sure you've got everything you need in a material sense. So there's somebody in the background, whether that's a lawyer, a financial advisor, an insurance agent, real estate agent, you're working together with someone to make that happen, an advisor of some kind. And the Three of Pentacles bodes very well for that working out, especially when you're so in control here. Now, in your hopes and fears, well, there we go, we just said, didn't we, that you're hoping for financial stability, that you're looking for something to come through from this person, probably coupled with your own efforts. So this is definitely all about getting your ducks in a row, making sure your house is running smoothly, your career is on track, your budget's working well for you. And that is what is making you feel good. So people think Cancer is all about love and romance and moodiness, and yeah, there is an element of that. But what makes Cancer feel really secure is knowing they can pay their bills. Most people feel that way, I'm sure, but with Cancer and Capricorn in particular, they don't have those feelings, that they know where the next dollar's coming from and they've got all their outgoings covered, can make them feel very shaky. So that's what you're hoping for. And all of this looks very much like it's going to happen. But we'll see what the outcome card is. And it's the Five of Cups, which is a disappointment. So it doesn't all work out the way you had hoped. But we'll just have a look at that. Okay, you may not get all the cups, but you still have enough. Oh, I don't think you can see that. Sorry. Okay, so you've got some cups that didn't fill. You know, that's life. Sometimes it happens. But you do have enough. Don't dwell on that disappointment. You still have enough. Maybe not as much as you expected, or maybe not in the manner that you expected, or from the corporation or bank or whatever that you expected. So it is going to happen. It's just not going to be quite the way you expected it. But fives are in between the 1 and the 10. They are a period of tweaking. All the fives are tweaking cards. And if it's not working, now is the time to change it. So I've just drawn a clarifier on that. And we've got the Four of Cups. Okay, so with this outcome not being quite what you wanted, it does put you in the doldrums somewhat. You know, the emotions might be taking over a bit there. You are going to be disappointed. I don't think there's any way of getting around that. But please look at what is offered. I'll just show you those two cards again. So the 4 and the 5, and see they're quite similar in the fact that he can't see the full cups behind him. He's only focusing on what he doesn't have. And that person is being offered a great big huge cup by the divine and is feeling very lackluster accepting that. Not what they wanted or not enough. So you're going to get in your own head about that, and there's no need to, because you put the work in, you made the choice, you put in the work, you're being strong and wise and smart about it all. But you do feel, I think, at the end of November that quite there, it wasn't quite what you wanted, didn't turn out quite the way you'd hoped. But it's still going to be enough. Okay? You will have enough of whatever it is. And under the deck, we have the Page of Wands. The Wands is fire energy, of course, and that could indicate fire sign, Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. But they're coming to you with a message. Pages tend to deliver messages. So perhaps the person that you are dealing with gives you the message that relates to this disappointment. So all of this hinges on some kind of communication, either letter, email. The news isn't going to be quite as you'd hoped, but it's still going to be very good for you, I feel, because you've put in what you need to put in. Maybe you'd set your sights a little too high. That's possible. Have you got carried away thinking, oh, I'm going to have all of this, and then no, you're going to get some of that, and you will make do with that, and you will be fine. Because cancers are like that. You'll get over it, is what I'm saying. But don't carry on. Don't swallow for too long. Okay, swallowing is not good for Cancerians. Take it from me, I know that. And here we have Wishing Well. This is an oracle card from Colette Baron-Reid's The Enchanted Map. That's number 48. I'll read you what that says. That may have some advice with regards to this situation. It looks actually quite similar to the Queen of Wands and the Empress in her green out in the countryside. Desire is the sacred impulse for life. Feel it, but let go all attachment to ownership. Okay, well, that pretty much says what we were saying here, doesn't it? You're just going to have to let that disappointment go. Desire is the most important impulse for creating life. Now you're seeing the relationship between desire and inspiration and sensing that moment of truth when you feel the inception of new life. Which is what you're hoping for here, new life in your world. It is an aha moment when everything makes sense. Perhaps you recognise a soulmate or are conceiving a baby or an idea. The Wishing Well card awakens you to the presence of unseen forces that enable new beginnings. Divine intelligence activates the field of possibilities where new life is co-created in a magical way. And that co-created could be you and the divine, you and another person, such as the Three of Pentacles here, or all three of you, you, the other person, and spirit as well. Neither you nor anyone else can know how or why this happens. It just does. To that end, you can't control the process of growth. Rather, you must step aside to be a channel for higher forces and relinquish any attachment to how this new creation should appear or when. The movie doesn't come with the speed, but rest assured that what is happening is, you may not see it now, but this disappointment is for the best in the long term, as they so often are. But we have to get a bit of time under our belt and regain that perspective to see it. Form your intention and take action by dropping the coin into the wishing well, then trust in spirit. Prepare to be amazed. Well, you have done the work. You've set your intentions very strongly here, doing all the right things. Don't get glum about it not being exactly as you had planned or hoped. And Cancerians have fantastic imagination, which is a really good thing to have. However, sometimes it can run away, and maybe you imagined something that wasn't realistic. But you will get over that. So I've just drawn a card to close out the reading from the Crystal Angels Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue to see what we've got here. We've got Malachite. Let's see. Malachite. Prosperity. Now this is also green. I know it's blue outline, but the stone itself is green. Got one here. Here we go. These are malachite. A couple of little pendants. So you can see they are green. Very pentacle. And prosperity, absolutely pentacle. So here's a little piece of malachite. And another one. Oh, it's so tiny. Yeah. So we shall read what malachite is telling you. Prosperity. This card indicates a positive shift in your flow of divine support. This could refer to meeting your needs financially, emotionally, or in some other way. Previous blocks are lifted because you've released old anger or fears and are now focused upon faith and taking guided action. But you started here with this Two of Wands, and you made a conscious choice. As long as you continue on this path of positive thinking and following your divine guidance, you can expect to see a greater number of opportunities arise and experience deeper fulfillment. About malachite, this rich green crystal, part of the copper family, is an abundance stone, which helps with manifesting material support. Its deep colour also assists opening the heart to healing divine love. So maybe you want to get a little bit of malachite on board for November and just realise all the hard work will pay off. Maybe not exactly how you had planned, but you still have enough. Okay, got the wishing well and prosperity. Just keep it real and don't stay in those doldrums, because next month will be December, holiday time, Christmas time, and down here in the southern hemisphere, summertime. So it's party time. You don't want to have that energy going into the holiday season. So take care. I will see you in December for the final monthly reading of 2018. And I hope that you'll join me then.